Neil, we've got 2 home games coming up this week after 2 long away days last week. How important is it that we make the most of this advantage of playing in front of our home fans?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, the 2 important home games coming up, and if we come out on the right side of some positive results, it can, change the way that we're feeling. It can change the league table and how it looks. So we've got to try and build on a point away from home last week. We did certain aspects of the game very well, not everything, but we, our main concentration is on a tough game against Millwall on Saturday, and we know that what we're going to have to bring to the game against them, and it'd be nice to give our supporters 3 points at home because it's been long overdue.
Do you feel that we're very close? Because there are so many games where, particularly recently, we've gone 1-0 up and then a shot from nowhere from the opposition, it zips straight into the back of the net with Senny not having had a thing to do prior to, and it can really change the feel.
Yeah. You don't want to. It sounds like you're bleating on, and then you sort of people then say you're making excuses. But we've had some moments in games go against us that I think has been really unfortunate, and some moments that haven't gone for us. The performances, give or take 1 or 2, have been mainly positive. But again, we've got so much to do. We're trying to improve our team all the time, every single day. You do that on the training pitch. We're nearly there, but nearly's not good enough. And we've got to accept responsibility for our performances, and embrace the challenge that's in front of us, and look ahead with some excitement. Plenty of games and points to pick up, and that starts this Saturday with a great game to look forward to against Millwall.
When you first went to Blackpool, the results didn't come straight away, and then you obviously had a very successful time there. Do you draw on that experience now?
Yeah, I do, and I see lots of similarities as well within the group and the squad. I also think it takes time for the way that I work with the players and the staff. So it can be a little bit different. When there's ever change, there's always a different in message or a way of working, and it takes time for players to understand that. You try and speed up that process as much as you can, and it's not always easy when you're playing game after game. But we've had time on the training pitch in between games recently, and it's up to us now to put that together for 90 plus minutes on Saturday. And if we keep producing similar performances, Hull aside, in the last few league games, then I believe that wins are not too far around the corner.
There was a tweak in formation at Huddersfield, 4-3-3 rather than 4-2-3-1. Are you still looking at what formation suits your squad best?
Yeah, it's not so much the formation, it's more the principles and how you play, which again that can take a little bit of time. But I want us to be a team that dominates the ball and keeps the ball. We actually did that at Hull, but we didn't do enough with the ball. We didn't do that well enough last week against Huddersfield, but we defended better. We've got to try and put those 2 facets of the game together, with the attacking threat that we've been showing better before the Hull game, prior to that. We're nearly there, but I say nearly is not good enough. It's about time now that we put together a run of performances and to pick up results, and staying consistent and believing in your process and what you do is really important. And I think the players, the easy thing to do sometimes is always to question and change, and that's not always the case. So it's less about the formation, in my opinion, and more about the principles of how you want to attack and how you want to defend.
Millwall have only lost 1 of their last 7. They're a point outside the playoffs with a game in hand. They'll be bringing plenty of supporters to Loftus Road on Saturday. Is this the ideal fixture in many ways? A London derby against opposition that are flying high. Let's see what QPR are about. It's an acid test.
Yeah, definitely. It's a great challenge. It's a great game for us to look forward to. Home game, good atmosphere. I'm sure our supporters will be right up for the game and right behind the team. It's one we've got to embrace, and we know the type of game that Millwall want to play, and they're very good at it. Guy Rout's done a fantastic job there with the squad he's assembled. They had a good season last year. They're up there again. They're in good form. Well, there's what a great challenge that is for us to go and try and beat them at home and pick up 3 points. We know what we're going to have to do and how we want to play. We'll have a plan. They'll have a plan, and then it's like, well, come on, let's get together and go toe to toe and see if we can win the game and come out on top.
And in terms of team news, firstly, Chris Martin coming in. How has he settled into the group since joining until the end of the season?
Yeah, you can see his quality in training straight away. There's no coincidence why he's played the amount of games he's played. At his age, and he's in good condition. He knows his game and what his strengths are, and he plays to them. And it'll take a little bit of time for us to get used to him, but he'll be a valuable addition to us. I think, obviously, with Lyndon not being available, we were maybe a little bit short in quality and numbers at the top end of the pitch, and already this week from Chris being here and his presence around the group, I think he'll prove a good addition for us.
And in terms of injuries, at the last count, I think it's 5 players who you could argue would affect the starting 11 are all currently unavailable. As we know, Lyndon Dykes is recovering at home following illness, and we wish him well. Luke Amos, Leon Balogun, Tyler Roberts, Taylor Richards are all out at the moment, but Luke Amos is certainly close, having come through an hour this week. Yeah,
that was good for Luke. Again, a bit of a frustrating time for him when my period at the club, and that was nice for him to get back on the pitch this week. I think there's no substitute for playing games, just getting your pitch bearings, if you like. He feels better off the back of that, so he comes in contention for the squad. We're hopeful that Tyler Roberts will make it. I think it'll be too soon for Taylor Richards. Leon Balogun's making good progress, and one more escapes my.
The other is Lyndon.
And Lyndon, obviously, of course, which is, really unfortunate. But, Lyndon's at home, feeling better. He's responded to the medication. But there's no rush for Lyndon. We have to be patient with him. No pressure on him returning. He has to just take little steps and take things slowly. So we're missing him around the place. But, at this moment in time, his health's more important.
And just finally, big London derby, big atmosphere. How keen are you for a fast start from QPR?
Yeah, definitely. You want to try and impose your game on the opposition straight away from the first whistle. Playing with energy, playing with intensity is really important to how we want to play as a team. Getting off to a good start brings that positivity to the team and to the stadium, to the supporters. So we have to be, no doubt on the pitch and be ready for the challenge that lies ahead. And let's just approach it with positivity and excitement. Plenty of games to go, plenty of points to play for. And after the Saturday and the games coming up, that the feeling in the group can change very quickly, and the league will look different. So let's go for it on Saturday.